right, gotta give it up for Raven. Raven passed her VP interview. Raven, man, nice job. Good work on you. 3 times and we did it. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. Josh passed his VP interview. Nice job, Josh. Josh wants me to tell you, Josh is a plumber. He was a plumber, right? He wanted to have VP for 3 or 4 years. He said, you know what? I'm going to do this. He saw my video a few months ago. He says, I'm going to try this. I want to do this. And so, Josh, good job on you. David come out of where? David comes out of South Carolina. He also passed his VP interview as well. So that's 3 today. Nice job, you guys. I get these emails all the time, you guys. So I'm happy to have you here. You guys take care, Coach Mitch. Take care. Bye-bye. Hey, guys. How you doing? Coach Mitch here. I want to give you 8 points that are very important for you to know for the Border Patrol interview. I've been coaching for 7.5 years. I want to tell you what to expect. The first point is this. They go right at it. At the beginning of the interview, there is not much there besides a hello, who are you, blah, blah. They go right for it. There's no warming up. There's no civilian type interview process where they ask you, hey, how's your drive or how's your coffee? None of that. They get right into it immediately, fast, okay? So you gotta be ready for that. Number 2 is that they're gonna notice weak communication fast. Now, when I say weak communication, that does not mean ESL, doesn't mean perfect English at all. No. They're looking for you to be organized in your answer, looking for clarity, and they're looking for confidence. This is where a lot of guys have a hard time because the pressure is already there. The minute that Zoom opens up, you got 2 guys staring at you through the Zoom, no effect at all, no love, no care, right? Just hardcore staring at you the whole time, right? This is when you start to break up your clarity and your confidence because these guys make it so you don't feel confidence. In my coaching program, I teach you that, how to withstand this hard look, the hard voice for that 15 or 20 minutes. I teach you how to do that because this is where a lot of people struggle. They don't know how to deal with these 2 guys the whole time, right? It's hard because they feel intimidated, right? Number 3, you guys, I work on this a lot with my people too, is that generic answers. You don't want to say these generic answers. Like, as part of your answer is, I want to serve my country, I like helping people. That's fantastic for a civilian job. If say you want to work at McDonald's, you want to say, I like helping people, that's fine, that's no problem there at all, right? Say you want to be a senior Boy Scout, you want to serve your country, that's great. When you're working for Border Patrol, it is already assumed you're serving your country, therefore don't say it. You guys who keep saying that same little tired mantra, you're going to bore the panel, and they're not going to want you back. They hear this all the time. They hear it all the time. You know, they don't want to hear it no more. They want to hear specifics. I teach specifics on how to answer these questions without saying, I want to serve my country. Duh, we know that already, right? Come on now, right? Number 4 is you showing weak leadership examples. You don't know how to answer ethical type questions. You have a hard time answering conflict resolution in a Border Patrol slant. What do I mean by that? Conflict resolution is not the civilian way to answer it in a Border Patrol interview. You must understand what they're asking you and how to answer it in an LEO/BP type way. You cannot bring the civilian type interview answer to this. You will just get hammered. They'll look at you like, is this guy serious? They're not going to believe you with these crazy answers to their questions. You have to know what you're talking about, right? And last thing here too for the questions, they're going to ask you questions based upon accountability. How are you going to show accountability in this scenario, right? You have to be able to understand that because all this stuff here I'm telling you right now, guys, it's just part of being prepared. It's part of the repetition. It's part of being coached, right? If you want this help, go down below, link below, get into my calendar. Let's start you off the right way. You don't want to be part of that 63% who fell the first time, had to come back 6 months later, okay? Another thing too, guys, a lot of these guys don't understand. They're practicing alone, in the mirror, you know, repeat themselves, you know, and that's all fine and great. But the mirror doesn't give you stress. The mirror doesn't give you hard looks. The mirror doesn't make you nervous. It's just a mirror. You are not under the test until you're getting coached or until you're in the actual interview, right? Many people practice alone. What happens though in the interview? Heart rate raises. thoughts race around, words disappear. Communication is now suffering. That's a guarantee because you did not prepare yourself properly. But Coach Mitch, I went to my girlfriend, my boyfriend, and they helped me out. How can they, who are not qualified, help you out? Well, they're asking me questions. About what? Even if they have the right questions in their hands, how do they know you're answering it the right way? And yes, there's a certain way to answer their questions the right way, guys. It's a system. You have to understand the system. This is what's going to happen. So you get in front of this interview panel and you practice all along in the mirror or with a girlfriend or boyfriend, whatever you did. You're going to get nervous. Your heart rate's going to get 120, 150, 180, right? And you're going to sit there and think, oh my God, this is not for me, right? That's what happens. So number 6 is this. I get too many Supermen, too many Rambos, right? We don't want Rambos and Supermen. We don't want heroes, okay? We want people who are using the judgment. BP wants sound judgment, professionalism, restraint, and decision making. We don't want these reckless hero stories. Don't bring the hero to the interview because he will be 6 months back and come back again in 6 months. Don't bring that. They don't want to have heroes. They don't want to see heroes. Come there with your head on your shoulders right. Be humble, zero ego. Number 7 is where people fail a lot. They don't know how to explain their decisions, right? So you give them this nebulous answer, this topical answer to a question, right? Then I ask you, well, why did you do it that way? Well, hang on. What options did you consider? Well, what was your reasoning? That's how you're spoken to. So when you're practicing your mirror, you're not ready for that kind of questions, that kind of same vein, that kind of force come your way. But that's what happens. So you have to answer the question beyond the topical, right? Why did you do that? What options did you consider? What was your reasoning, right? A lot of you guys are explaining your actions, but you're not showing the judgment. That's bigger than the action. I have to know why you're doing something, not just that you did it, but why are you doing something, right? Explain it to me and make it clear and concise and use my verbiage for BP. Make it LEO slanted. Put my mission in there. That's what they're going for, you guys. This is why, again, the fail rate is so high because you guys are not ready for this kind of stuff. It's heavy hitting stuff. BP's not playing around with the interview. They have a very tough interview process. Of the 7 that I teach, federal level law enforcement, BP is the second hardest. Second hardest, without a doubt. Second hardest. Here's the deal, guys. Last one here. You have to understand preparation is what is superior to experience. Well, what do you mean by that? I have guys all the time in my coaching program, military background, police background, corrections background, and armed security background. Thinking that's going to make them successful, and it's not. Having the background, but not being able to utter the correct responses by using that background in your answers makes it that even you, with that law enforcement background, can and do fail at a high rate. There is a process that is BP specific. It doesn't matter about your law enforcement background if you cannot state the BP mission and model and rules and policies and so on and so forth. Your background doesn't mean jack. None of it guarantees success. Many qualified applicants struggle because you guys simply underestimate the interview. Or you hear someone say online somewhere, oh, it was easy. It might have been easy for them, but it doesn't mean it's going to be easy for you. This is where people get it twisted. And I wish sometimes people would always say it's easy. Well, because that's subjective. It's easy for you, right? You know, it's like me and you, right? Most of you guys have hair. If I was in a hair growing contest, I would lose, right? You would say it was easy. I beat Coach Mitch in a hair growing contest. Well, for you, yeah, it gets me easy, right? So careful what people say, it's easy out there, because it isn't always easy. It takes a lot of preparation. A lot of times what I do with my clients, most of my clients are not law enforcement, they're not military, but they beat those other occupations because they have less experience, yes, but I prepare them prepare them for anything, and they are ready. The actual interview, 4 or 5 questions. My interview coaching program, you're going to get 16 heavy questions, which I expect you to have 2 sub-answers below. It's an intense program, but it's designed to make champions. That's why I do what I do. You guys want to pass, you get a good chance of passing. Get into my coaching program, get into my calendar. I'll see you guys on the other side, okay? Take care. Bye-bye.